Good morning, everybody. In this update, we're going to take a look at our GFS American model and just putting down a lot of snow here over Michigan, over places like Vermont, New Hampshire, and northeastern New York, Maine, especially in eastern Canada, southeastern Canada, where you can see up to 45 inches in spots. Now, when would this all occur? Let's take a look. So, again, the Michigan snow would occur, if it were to occur, it would occur on the 26th of March. Actually, to be more specific, it would occur on the 25th. So, again, that's far. Let's see, what is today? Today is the 22nd. So, this would occur in 3 days from now. So, I would say this is likely to happen, probable to happen, because it's forecasted in such a short time frame. It's not really a long range forecast. So, good chance of that happening. So if you're in Michigan, get your plows and shovels ready because it is looking likely that you'll see a foot of snow, at least from this model run again. So this is going from, again, all the way to Sunday. So of course it can change and flip flop, but right now that's what it's looking like. And then we see again a lot of snow for the Northeast piling up. And this is kind of incredible. It looks like um, 19 to 25 inches in spots in Maine and Vermont, New Hampshire. So just a lot of big snow piling up there. Um, and then you can see here in Canada up to 45 inches. So we're not in a deficit right now in terms of, seeing snow towards this time of year in this current season because we're seeing a lot of snow just pile on in this. Even we're in spring now, not just meteorological spring but astronomical spring. So now I wouldn't contribute the NAO to be the only factor for this to be happening, but again, when you get a negative NAO, that typically sets off a lot of cold and lower level heights to be an active pattern driver over the eastern half of the USA. Right now, the NAO is negative, forecast to dip even lower negatively, more negative, I should say, than it is right now. And again, it's just going to kind of remain negative. So again, I do want to take a look at what this winter has been so far because I just think it's interesting to look at the weather patterns in terms of the past months or whatever. So we're going to take a look at our geopotential height in the 500 millibar region of the atmosphere, going from, let's do February to March 19th. Let's do that. And that's pretty close to right now, give or take a few days. So we're going to take a look at the anomaly. And again, the 500 millibar region of the atmosphere is about, I would say, 1,000. Don't quote me on this. It's been a while since I've taken an official meteorology class, but I believe it's 1,000 feet upward or 5,000 feet upward. But the bottom line, it's pretty far above the surface of the atmosphere. And here's been our pattern again: a western winter with a negative. I believe this will be a positive VPO because with a negative VPO, you get your ridge towards the western half of Canada, but you can see that big southeast ridge just really kicking forth and providing a lot of warmth here in areas on the east coast. And so again, not good for snow lovers. Also notice a trough there near right south of Greenland. So really not too much of a negative NAO, not a distinct negative NAO, I should say. And again, primarily western winter. Now let's take a look though if things have been changing. Um, let's take a look at March 1st through March 19th. So this is going ahead a little bit. And let's take a look at this. So again, we see that the cold is becoming more intense and it's more of a better pattern to get cold because we see that Greenland block developing and a lot of warm air putting that cold air towards the USA in places like the Northwest and the Northeast. So again, we're seeing a lot more favorability in terms of a cold pattern. But of course, it's too late in the winter now for us to get anything lasting. You might get one or two big snowstorms that produce a foot or whatever, but to get any lasting snow, it's really not a good setup. So I mean, in terms of like weeks and weeks of cold, of course, because spring's right around the corner, without a doubt. Um, so let's take a look at our PNA. Now, the PNA is essentially the same thing as the NAO, but centered over the western half of the USA. So when you get a negative PNA like we're seeing, that allows, like we're seeing, a lot of cold air in the western half of the USA and a lot of low level heights, a lot of snow, a lot of action in the weather. And right now we have a negative PNA, which supports that, and it's continuing to be negative the next 2 weeks. So that should support some western cold snow fun and games. So a lot of cold and active weather for the western half of the USA, like we're expected to see. In fact, let's close off with, in reference to that, let's take a look at our GFS snowfall output for the west coast, for the western half of the USA, I should say. And again, favors the negative PNA with a lot of snow over the western mountains, not just over one isolated area like California, but again, scattered abroad throughout the western mountains of the western half of the USA, a lot of snow. So, all right, guys, that is it for now. Thank you for watching. Make sure you share and like my content for more long range weather content to come. And see you in the next video update. Take care. Bye.